Hello, everyone, and welcome to another premiere draft of Ikoria, Lair of Behemoths. Uh, it just dropped, set just dropped today. We have a good bit of gold, not enough for one of these drafts, but we got a ton of gems, so we're going to buy in with gems and see how many wins we can get in a human Ikoria draft. So here we are going to put at a pod with 7 other humans, draft around, and currently we're able to get these awesome Godzilla-style arts. I so far have... I wish it told you which ones of these you had. We got a couple of them. We're going to go ahead and see if we can get some more. So we're going to go ahead and buy in with gems and see what we can open up pack 1, pick 1. So we get Godzilla Primeval Champion. Nice. This is one of the cyclers. Not going to see a ton of constructed play. But we are here. We are ready. Let's see what we get in our pack 1, pick 1. Waiting for one more individual. I saw myself again. Why did I see myself again? Oh, I don't know. So here we go. Pack 1, pick 1. Look, we have a mythic. It's one of the Apexes. We're going to take that, but we're going to see what else is in the pack. There's Ominous Seas. I would like to build around this at some point. Great in the cycling deck. Flourishing Fox, another good cycling card. And the Howlbonder, which does serious work on boards, but we're not going to pass up a mythic. Look at Snapdax. He is a dinosaur cat nightmare. What's not to love? This is actually the second time I've gotten to pack 1, pick 1, this particular mythic this set. It underperformed some. We were a little bit wonky on whether we were humans or we were trying to mutate. This Abzan here is definitely not the mutate colors. Not Abzan, Mardu. Mardu is not the mutate colors. Those are very much Simic. So it's a little bit awkward trying to be able to mutate him here, but there is some stuff we can mutate on. Mutate enablers, etc. But we like him here. Well, there's another rare here, and it actually matches the colors perfectly for our first one, so I'm tempted to just take it and really force this deck. There's fine removal down here in Fire Prophecy. Momentum Rumroller is fine. But here you get copies of 1/1s. And we're in the right colors for this. Let's go ahead and take it. Mostly because I'm just curious. And it matches our pack 1, pick 1 so well. Let's just go for it. So here's another great mutate card, but we're pretty far off of being able to cast it. It's fantastic. I'd love to be able to take it. We can also just take a Leosar. This will be a fine thing to mutate onto. If we're red-white base, I like that. Or maybe we're just solid 3-color. There's also Fire Prophecy, which I might like a little bit more. This is just premium removal. Helps fix a hand. I think we go with that. A little sad to see the Leosar go, but Fire Prophecy is what we want here. And we are just forcing Mardu here, pretty much. It's hard to go pack 1, pick 1, Snapdax, and then pack 1, pick 2, Offspring's Revenge, and not just want to force it pretty hard. We want some good ETBs for this. It doesn't work with colorless stuff, which is a little unfortunate, but we'll find stuff to use with it. Here is wow. Here's a second Leosar. Tentative Connection's nice. I don't think Snapdax has Menace. No, it has Double Strike. There's some decent white cards floating around, but I think we just take the Leosar. This seems to be... Oh, this is a nice place to mutate onto as a 2-mana 2/2. Occasionally, we'll be able to, mutate it onto something else. Get a nice pump. Doesn't look too bad. And is there anything else here we'd really want? Like Deadweight's nice. Maybe Deadweight's a better card. I'm going to take the Leosar. I want to play these. So I'm fine being, heavy gold in this draft. Smasher. Nice late game. We can cycle it. If we cycle it, we can actually make a 1/1 version of it. I don't know how good a 1/1 first striker would be. But it's worth, considering. Also, if this does come down, it's pretty beastly. And if we don't take it, what are we taking? We're taking, like, a tiger? A flying cat. I don't love that. I think I'd rather just the thing that cycles and gives something first strike. Wow, back for more still here. That's a fantastic card. But here, I think what we want is just Farfinder. Our mana's going to suck. So let's just go ahead and try to make it a little bit better. Reflexes is a fine trick. I think we just want a Vanissar. This at least cycles. And again, it's fine late game. We'd like some good early game stuff, and maybe we're, pseudo-cycling. Red-White's the cycling deck. We don't have a ton of cycling payoffs, but if we take, like, the Tactician here, that pays us off for cycling. We got two things that want to cycle. So I don't hate that here. We could also just take the Barons as fixing. So either we want to try to force cycling a little bit, which I don't know is the right choice with these. So let's just take our fixing, be happy. Although then we get to this pack and I see the Flourishing Fox still here, which we're going to take. And we're going to see if we can get in the cycling deck. This is absurd to be here. What, pick 9 I think we were? Yeah, that's absurd. We'll see if we can have at least the cycling sub-theme go on. Mostly we want stuff for the Snapdax, so we'll take better creatures. This is a fine thing to even mutate onto if we needed that. A little bit of upside here and there. Making a 1-mana 2/2 after you cycle a single thing's not bad, and the fact that late game you draw this, you just cycle it away, means it's a 1-drop that doesn't really take the place of a 1-drop. When it's no longer relevant in the late game, like 1-drops normally are, you just cycle it away and say, I'd rather have a different card, please, deck. Thank you. So we're not doing that. We could take the Mutual Destruction. The Solid Footing's okay. We don't have Vigilancy stuff. I'm going to take a Mutual Destruction. We'll put it in the board. We'll think about it. Cathartic Reunion's a card I don't mind. I think it's going to overperform in a cycling deck, because once you cycle enough things, you're going to start just having lands in hand, and being able to pitch them with the Reunion to find more gas seems great. Here's a great human payoff. I don't know why it's not gone. We'll take a cat, but it'll likely be sideboard. So it looks like we're red, white, splashing black. This trap is actually playable, people. It's not great. Don't get me wrong, but it's fine. It's 5 damage out of basically nowhere. So we get Genesis Ultimatum as the rare. And depending on what's in the pack, we could just take it. Like, if there's nothing premium here, we take it. But there is a Blood Curdle. I'm fine splashing black. We're on the black splash for sure. Blood Curdle's premium removal there. We'll pass on the ultimatum. We'll see. Maybe it gets back to us. But we're pretty far off of being able to splash that. I will just take premium removal here. Be happy. So here's a Flourishing Fox. More cycling payoff. Even a cycling enabler. So, we have a cycling sub-theme going on here. I don't really want to get into harder black. These other ones, I'm not impressed with this card. It doesn't do enough for, to justify a card. All the effects are worth 1 mana. Don't get me wrong there, but it's not worth a card. The Marshal's nice, but I think we just want a Fox. It's an early thing we can mutate on. Here's another thing. We got a Marmoset that's mutatable. This is something that cycles, makes us 1/1s. Rumbling Rockslide's also nice. We could take removal instead, but we do have a premium removal spell here. We have a Fire Prophecy. It's not necessary. But let's go with the Rescuer. I like this a little bit more than the Marmoset as a cycling payoff. Here, there's a Stinger, but there's also just Pacifism. I can't pass a Pacifism. We'll see if maybe we get the Stinger on the wheel. Pacifism's a great card. I'll lock down their big thing. Let's see. So our high end cycles away nicely, and the cycled ones, get back as 1/1s. Here, that gives a vigilance counter. There's a glider. Is an okay place to put counters. We're a little weak on 3s, so maybe I want the glider. It's a fine place to mutate onto. Raptor's a less good 3. It's just a big boy. There is that. Do we have a lot of vigilance? I want to take a look. We have 1 thing with vigilance and 2 things. I think we just want the glider here. We could have taken like a cycling 1 thing, but I don't know if that's worth it. Here, I think we just take a Tigerilla. This is 4/3 Menace. It's turned out to be alright. All this green here is a little sad. And this has cycling 1. We could think about it just to jam more cycling in the deck, but let's take a pretty decent playable. Vantisar is something that just cycles. We could do that. How are we doing? Maybe we need more big boys. Maybe that's something that's worthwhile. We could also just take another Vantisar as a cycling 1. So here it's, do we want cycling 1? Do we want a 4/3 Menace? Cycling 1, 4/3 Menace. Let's take the cycling. I like the flexibility. We already have 1. If we didn't already have a Tigerilla, I'd take the Tigerilla. But we had 1. Here, this pack's pretty bad. I guess we'll take a cat, and if we were desperate, we'd run it. Here, this is cycling 1. We could just run this as a cycling 1 card. This other stuff is really not fantastic. That would have been better if we had the other thing. Let's just take this as a cycling 1 card. We don't plan to ever cast it for its true mana cost. We just want to cycle it. Here, we'll take a Day Squad Marshal. That's fine. It's a nice thing to get back with the Revenge. So what's nice to get back with the Revenge? This still has a trigger. This can at least be a 1/1 flyer. Some of the stuff we could mutate on. Here's a Marmoset. I rather like the Marmoset coming all the way back around. That's a pretty powerful card, cycling. Gremlin, because it's in our colors, but we're not running it. And we basically have a playable deck here going into the last pack. The people undervalued green hard this time. We'd like to find some more fixing. We currently have 1 tap land. We'd like to find 1 or 2 more. And the fact that we, have what roughly resembles a deck here after 1 pack, I don't mind, picking fixing a little bit more highly. Wow. And here's another thing. It just has cycling 1. We could go ahead and run it. And look at this. We got run over with this last draft. Here's a cycling payoff. It's also a big cycler. Maybe we'll wheel this Zenith Flare. I like running a big cycling mythic. Nope, not mythic. It's only rare. But, our one opponent, they just hardcast this against us. And 8/8 trample haste is huge. Looking at this, I think we want the Stinger. It really sucks. We're going to end up passing this King Kong monster here, which really hurts. I think we just want a Stinger. It's going to help this deck have a little bit of reach. Divine Arrow's okay removal, but not great. I think we take the Stinger and be really sad about passing that rare. Healer, this has cycling 1. We're sort of doing it on cycling. Do we need any more high drops? No, we sort of have that covered between the Smasher, this Snapdax. So I don't think we need more high drops. I think we just take this as a nice cycling 1 card. And at this point, we're like cutting the trap. I think we want that. This is fine for Go Whitish. This is sort of where I want to be with this sort of deck. The Tigerilla is not ideal, but all this other cycling is great. Maybe we don't want the Offspring's Revenge, but we'll have stuff to take out. Oh, look at this. Unpredictable Cyclone came around here, and we're the red cycling deck. We can cycle creatures to spin the wheel, and that is what I want to do now. That's not our right land. I guess we'll take that, and we'll consider like just cutting these startling developments as cycling 1 cards. I don't think we need them. They are instants. Do we have instants we'd like to spin into? They're a little awkward instants, other than their 1 kill spell and Blood Curdle. Wow, we're gonna get to cycle stuff and just put stuff onto the battlefield with the Cyclone. The cycling ability of another non-land card would cause you to draw a card. Instead, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a card that shares a card type with the cycled card. You may cast the card without paying its mana cost. Then the exile card when cast put on the bottom of the library in the random order. Well, I don't even think we're doing stuff with counters, but I'm going to take the Uzlith here as sort of a free rare. Because I don't think we're doing a lot with counters. Like, we get a flying counter. We have a first strike counter. But, honestly, we pretty much have the deck, so if we can just get a rare here... You know, what was that, like pick 5, pick 6? I'll just take the rare. At this point, I'm kind of fine just, you know, rare drafting that. Rumbling Rock Slide, here's removal. And we're going to have some hard cuts to go ahead and be looking at here. We're definitely cycling with, like, the random upside of being able to have a Snapdax. The Offspring's Revenge might not be great. Let's look here. Crystal technically cycles. Does it fix? It doesn't fix us. So I guess we take, you know, a cycling 1 card. See if we want to really just jam a bunch of cycling 1 things. This also doesn't fix. I guess this is technically a creature. I don't think we're running it. Here's a second Cathartic Reunion. We might run that if we have enough cycling. Maybe we're not running the Leosaur or something? Absolutely no fixing there. I guess we take the Dart as a colorless. So foxes are nice, they can get big. This is something that we can even think about playing a second copy of. And we could just take the Void Beckoner. We'll think about it. Like, with the Cyclone, that could happen. We'll take a Forbidden Friendship. That could even be playable. Put that in the sideboard. Be pretty happy about how this went. Alright, so now we have the hard decision of trying to make cuts. So I think it's worth running Snapdax. We don't even need black in this deck. Like, if we cut the... How many things get better with the Offspring's Revenge? Against the Foxes are fine. Those will still have abilities out on the field. I don't think we want the Forbidden Friendship. Like, that gets a counter. That still has its thing. That still has a thing. We can't actually use that, but it does fix. So I think we're running, like, the Scoured Barrens and 1 Swamp. That still gets a trigger. That gets a counter at least. That's removal. Smasher might be one of our worst cards, just because it's expensive cycling. So let's figure out lands here real quick. Lands. We'll go out here. That's right, we're running 1 Swamp. So 14, 15, 16. And with all the cycling 1, I think that's generous. In fact, we could even be greedy and cut like another mountain and say, hey, we're 15 lands. 15 lands I don't think is ridiculous when we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 cards with cycling 1 and a couple with cycling 2. I mean, like, I don't hate that. And then we're still able to pitch extras with Cathartic Reunion, or it just fixes an early hand. What do we cut? Like, I don't love the Divine Arrow, but we are pretty removal light. I guess if we have the Blood Curdle, we might want another Swamp. I forgot about the Blood Curdle. So we could cut up Plains, add in another Swamp. Oh, I'll just do it like this. And yeah, because I think we need the removal. Here's removal, 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 removal. I guess we don't need Divine Arrow. We go ahead and cut that. And I don't know if we need to be pumping our humans. We're just planning to cycle, get a couple things out there that are trying to mutate on. Land a Cyclone maybe, land the Offspring's Revenge, bring these back as just little Vigilance boys even. And hopefully land that at some point. Honestly, seems sweet. So let's go. Snapped Axe. Take number 2. And let's go ahead and run this. It's probably greedy, but this is the closest thing I've had to the cycling deck throughout all my drafts. And I just want to see if it can perform. I've had an idea that this deck can be busted. I've seen one other person actually run it, and it looked good. It beat us. So this is nice. See, we got a cycling 1, we got a cycling 2. And I wanted to think about that maybe a little bit more, but that's fine. So yeah, we're just going to end up cycling some stuff here. Let's cycle a Vantasar. They can hit in for 1 if they would like. This is going to go ahead and fix our mana, give us a thing to mutate onto. And the opponent's in the tank here. Splash that too much, you get an eruption. We don't want to end the turn because we certainly want to cycle our cycling 1 thing. Look at that. And here, we're likely just going to cycling 2 this thing away. It's not worth pacifying yet. We want to try to keep the Cyclone. They get their 1/1, that's nice. We can just go ahead and drop a healer. Or we can drop the Farfinder. If we drop the... Let's drop the healer. If we drop the Farfinder, we still don't quite have that, but we'll be able to go find our other red the turn after to drop this Cyclone. So yeah, here I think we're just, well, let's max our mana. Could be we find another 2-drop and we're able to 2-spell next turn, like the Stinger and Pacifism. I should be watching for that. And if they want to use removal on this, that's fine. We can also just drop a Day Squad Marshal, which could be alright. That's gonna make trades good for them. So we showed him this. Let's just go ahead and drop the Marshal. That gives us a 3-power thing. That blocks pretty well. And then we can drop the Cyclone. Seems good to me. Or we can adapt, you know, mutate Snapdax onto our Farfinder. That's okay. I think I trade with their 1/1 if they offer it here. We wanted this for the mutate, you know, spot. They don't have anything with flash. So I don't know if there's anything that blows us out here. So I think we want to snap Dax, and then next turn we can drop that and immediately cycle something to be sure to get the value. So this requires double white and something, so it doesn't really matter what we drop here. We gain 4 life, so their quick life race here goes pretty poorly. This is a human. We definitely want it over. This is somewhere they can mutate. I'd rather take away their mutate spot. And we'll hold back. We want to Cyclone and then cycle the healer. Spin into some sort of creature. We'd also do it at instant speed, see if we can blow them out on an attack. You know, we have stuff that would for sure blow up, you know, make it a great trade for us. We have double strike. I don't know how they blow this out. Maybe they have a way. But we have double strike? Okay. It's still just a trade. And yeah, here we're gonna drop this and then plan to cycle the healer. That will spin us into a creature. What creature? We don't know, but we will find one. And it goes directly onto the battlefield. So let's spin the wheel. Hey, we get a glider. That's nice. We give it flying, we give it first strike. Let's give it first strike. We want our Nightmare Squirrel to be terrifying. They could have a removal spell, but that's, you know, sort of fine. We got that thing for basically free. And here we can drop both of these, so let's go ahead and drop... Let's drop a Marmoset. And this with a Menace counter. On an empty board seems alright. 4/3 Menace for 4. We got a 2-power First Striker going in. Alright, they Blood Curdle. They don't get their Menace counter. And now anything we draw with cycling is just gas. Seems good to me. See, they can cycle things, but they're not spinning into stuff. We got a Fire Prophecy here. Which means we can hold on to a land. And be able to pitch it. That's a fine thing to go ahead and pacify. And we draw Rock Slide. Alright, that's going to deal, what, 7 damage? So we can just go ahead and kill there. Kill their thing. Mammoth, alright. We can pacify that. We have that. We're going to hold on to the land so that when we deal 3 damage, we can pitch the land. Find another card. We get a nice from the opponent. Acknowledge that we have something going on here. And, you know, at some point we'll be able to start exiling stuff from our yard with the other rare that we have. A little bit hesitant to do that when I already have some fixing in hand, so let's just go ahead and get in there. See what they're trying to do. They might just have another removal spell. Deadeye! Alright, that's a great thing to go ahead and kill. Not that it has good blocks against us, but that they can attack back is a problem. And we get our Blood Curdle. So we have another removal spell now. And they weren't even able to block. Wonderful. Alright, we got a removal spell. We'll hold lands. We'll be able to pitch them to the Cathartic Reunion. We may be able to get on a cycle train at some point. Although, the cycling train's a little bit shut off by the Cyclone, interestingly enough. Rather than drawing us cards, this is just putting them onto the battlefield, which, you know, that's good. We'll save this so when we have 2 lands, we can go ahead and pitch them, reload our hand. 3/3 Death Touch is now dead. And we'll go ahead and put the Menace counter on our thing that threatens to get real big. And now is where I like cycle. Let's just cycle a Flourishing Fox. Let's go ahead and cast that, yeah. Now when we cycle, we get even more stuff. Whittling them down. Scorpion. That's bad. But we can just play Offspring's Revenge and get back stuff. What are we willing to get back? Like, what's good as a 1/1 on the battlefield? Like, this is good. That comes with other 1/1s. Seems alright. We're living the Mardu dream over here. This is great. Let's go Marshall. We gotta be a little careful of our life total here. But it's again haste. Huh. Oh, we're not really using the haste, are we? We could get in there, get in there, get in there. I like just get in there, get in there. They could eat this. We're kind of okay with that. No, I'd rather have blockers back. Chumping this is not the worst. Bangs! Okay. Gave it lifelink, made it bigger. Alright, we're holding on to lands. And now we can get another thing. We can get this back with a flying counter. 1/1 flyer at least does something on this board. We could also get in with this. Fine with this for now. Let's make them find something. cycling. We can just hardcast this now. I want the potential lifelink here. Yeah, we had lethal. Cool. 8-8, trample haste. A lot of damage. Alright, we get win number 1. Let's jump right back into it. Deck seems absolutely sweet. Once it gets online, that Cyclone can do a heck of a job. And I like the Cathartic Reunions. We weren't able to cast it, but it made me feel like we had, drawing lands wasn't a bad draw. We'll keep this. This is great. We can go Fox into Healer into Cycle. I want to make sure we cast this Fox. And likely here, we're just going to cycle the Wanderer, the Wandering Monster. We could also mutate onto the Fox, but let's just cycle. That's number 1. We're drawing cards. Make this Fox bigger. Shuffle it in, draw a card. Yeah, might as well cycle this. Make our stuff bigger, gain a life. Glider comes out alright next turn. If we give it flying, that's a nice place to put the Leosar. This is also a fine place. We got options. We got options, we got options. And we're doing a heck of a lot for turn number 3. Hitting in for 5 damage. I think this deck has to be legit. Like, you can't get in for 5 damage on turn 3 and have a reasonable board without the deck, being at least somewhat good. We can just pacify that. We can say go Stinger, pacify, and just tell him we're racing here. Like, they have to come up with something or we win. This Leosar pump is real next turn. So the safer play is probably Glider. None of this stuff has cycling. We could just mutate, but I'm a little afraid of getting blown out there. I think we drop like the Marmoset or the Glider and just have a great next turn. Glider with flying seems like it's going to be pretty hard for them to fight. And Beef Stick over here didn't do anything all game, and we just won. Like, yeah, they didn't do anything, which didn't help them, but when this deck comes together like that, it feels really powerful. Like, there's explosive starts, and it's, all the cycling, you just keep finding gas. There might even be something to it in Standard. Like, I'm tempted to go try to build that after this. This is fantastic. We got a Cycling 1. We hold on to extra lands late for the reunion. Or we just use the reunion to fix this hand. But I don't think there's anything to fix. This is fine. Cycle, go looking for a 2-drop. They're Evolving Wilds. Gonna go get their fix on. We'll go ahead and cycle. We find our splash. And look at that, we find a 1-drop to play that we otherwise would not have been able to find. With this, we're going to go find a land, so likely we can just, like, reunion away some of the lands we already have. There's a Snapdax to mutate onto this thing. Wow. So let's say, you know, go Swamp, go Farfinder. And we don't need another black source. We only need the 1. We have it in hand. We do need a second red for the Cyclone, so let's go ahead and grab it. And yeah, we're not at Cyclone mana yet, so this is going to be dead for a while. I think we just Glider here, give it flying. Next turn, we have a pretty great Snapdax. You know, kill their thing, make this Farfinder a threat. See what they do here. Maybe they're going to mutate. Maybe they'll put it out of range. I think they can keep this on top. It depends on how they do this. If they do it right, it's big enough that it survives. So we probably just Blood Curdle it away. And as soon as I drop one more land here, we don't need any more, so let's just Blood Curdle this. Let's get it out of there. They get to keep their counter, but we can go ahead and put, you know, Menace on our flyer. We have a Snapdax mutation. That's too big for it, though, unfortunately. Like, And they get to put the counter there. So we could just mutate on our flyer. Or we can just say, like, go Prickly Marmoset. This thing has Vigilance, not Reach. They had the option. Does it have Reach? It has Vigilance, not Reach. So we had to find attack. We're still saving the land to pitch to the Cathartic Reunion. We don't really need more than 5. There is that one Wandering Turtle thing in our deck. There's something that we can take out with the Snapdax. Start racing them in the air. Here's a gain land, but I like, let's just mutate. We're kind of putting all our eggs in one basket here just a little bit, but we're going to start to really pressure them in the air with this. Like, they have to do something this turn. We have lethal on board. And our hand is 3 cards of gas. Alright, they can give it flying. Alright. They were able to stabilize, and yeah, it has vigilance, so they can get in, but it doesn't do a whole lot. And here we get to Cathartic Reunion, pitch. We don't really want our gain land, and we don't really want... It doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and go find 3 more cards. Stinger gives some reach. That's not bad either. So we could do this. This pumps humans. We could Stinger, and that's reach. We could also just cycle the Stinger. What does cycling the Stinger give us? That gives us a Marmoset pump. Let's just play this. We have outs. And now I'm okay playing lands. And we can just cycle this for a little value. Get a little deeper into the deck, try to find something here. That's a problem. So now they're able to tap our stuff. Let's go cycling. Let's make our dorks bigger. See what we can find. They can tap it? Yeah, but we haven't attacked yet. Gosh, we might just have lethal. Let's go ahead and cycle. I need to figure this out. We can just Cyclone, or we can cycle the Cyclone. That gives us more pumps. Makes all our stuff bigger. Then we can just drop this. I kind of think they're just dead. That's fine. We have a 6/3 first strike that they have to deal with. Yeah. It was lethal. Cool. Kind of thought so, but math is for blockers, so we'll make them. We'll make them make sure. And we get to our 3 wins, which means we're getting 2/3 of our entry fee back. This is a nice place to be in this, and let's go ahead and do another one. Hopefully we can get even a few more wins. This deck is sweet. Go. Alright, here we go. We got a cycling 2. Fine with this. A little slow. Not quite as explosive as our last starts. But on 2, we get to cycle. I mean, that's sort of even a fine baseline. Let's gain our life. Fix our mana. Then we have to make sure we play the mountain, because this is colored cycling. Guess we could have held it up, but... Alright. Wonder if they're the mutate deck. Let's go ahead and drop the Marmoset. That attacks well on this board right now. Double Cathartic Reunion's a little awkward, but we can pitch one to the other. Here we're likely just going Day Squad Marshal. Let's go ahead and attack. Depending on blocks, this, cycling the Fox wouldn't be the worst. But let's just start going wide. We do need the second red for the Cyclone. That's a thing we want to kill. We could mutate, go big. And then still have at least one cycling ability up. And if they don't make a cycle, great. Everything's a trade on that. And if they just want to chump, I'm fine with that. So let's go ahead and drop the Fox. It's not ideal here, but it threatens to get kind of big. Here this next turn, if we draw a land, we can just Cathartic Reunion. Pitch a Cathartic Reunion, the land, draw a whole new hand. See how that looks? This only works on attacks, so this is an aggressive card. You got to be attacking with it to be good. Alright, they're going to eat that. Not bad, opponent. Alright, fantastic. Exactly what we wanted. So we get to pitch some cards, draw a whole new hand. Seems good. And like this, we can just drop a land, go ahead and rock slide this bad boy. And then we have an attack. We don't have another way to pitch a land, so now we're forced into playing it, but it dug us through quite a number of cards. And that's fine. So here, let's just cycle a Fox. Go looking, and we find a land. Alright, they stabilized here a little bit, but hopefully we're going to draw into enough stuff. We don't actually have blocks against this 6/3 Vigilance, which is awkward. Once our Fox gets a bit bigger, then we're okay. Yeah, they can just hit us for 3 a turn. That is super awkward. We're going to pretend we have another Cathartic Reunion, even though we don't. Alright, we really need to find something, deck. We got stuff, we're just finding a lot of lands. Wow, deck. We're only running 15. We pitched one. We've drawn a lot of cards to still be finding lands. Woof. Come on. We can do this. We could, find a couple of cyclers all in a row. We can also just find this. Good luck attacking now, opponent. Yeah, like we could cycle, but a 6/4 first strike is just what I want. That should shut this down a little bit. Likely they're looking to mutate something here. Snapdax would be a great draw for us. Okay, yeah, more flyers is bad for us. We don't really have an answer to that many flyers. Even Blood Curdle doesn't really do it for us here. We may have to try to find lethal. Okay, Blood Curdle can give our 6/4 menace. We found lethal. As long as they don't have instant speed removal, we found lethal. They got a little bit aggressive in their attacks. Let's see. They might not real. Oh, they had Zenith Flare. That's a cruel trick, opponent. If you have that, just use it. Don't make me think I had hope. If you have lethal, just do it. Don't let me draw a card. Okay, well that was mean, but I'm only salty because we found the line and they had a trick in their hand that they could have played at the end of their turn and just didn't. Ooh, bit of salt. Bit of salt. Oh, this is awkward. I guess we can use Cathartic Reunion to fix it. Pitch some stuff. But there we just have a cycling 1. So we'll do that, see if that fixes it, and if not, we still have Cathartic Reunion to fix this hand. Alright, never didn't have it. We could still try to fix this hand with the Reunion. What would we pitch? I guess we could pitch like the Blood Curdle and the Smasher. They're late game plays. I know we're pitching actual action to draw cards. And in fact, it's triple land, so pitching a land probably would have been right. But now we have our early game stuff going. Maybe that's not right. That's nice. We're giving it flying. And if they cycle, we're not blocking that. We need something to deal with their Reptilian Reflection. And now that we're flooding out quite a bit, I wish we had pitched some lands. Oh, that's a way to find another land. We need a white source for Snapdax. Might as well get in for 2. This is a fine place to mutate on as well. If that gets too big, we can pacify it. But I think here we want to, you know, just drop Cyclone next turn and hope to draw some cycling stuff. Yeah, them getting that's bad. It has Trample as well. Jeez, this thing's bonkers. We could chump. No, because it has Trample, that's not going to work. They both have Trample. Woof. So, yeah, I think what we got to do now is... We do have this. That kills that. We're not blocking their Trampler, so we might as well get in. Now if we draw a Cycling 1, we can Cyclone and then cycle what we draw. I think we have another Cathartic Reunion to pitch some more of these lands. That has Cycling 2, and we'll just be able to get it out there. Yeah, next turn this just comes down. And if they're fine wasting a cycle here to go ahead and kill our 1/1, that's cool. Like, they needed sail. No, that only is an artifact. So here, I just want to cast this. It's hard cast it. Now we threaten 9 damage. We're gonna make music on crystals. Ah, there they go. They find a way to kill it. But hopefully we can just spin into other stuff. We have a... I don't know, how much other big stuff do we have? We have Snapdax. But here, let's go ahead and pitch. See if we can find something to cycle. We found something to cycle. We'd also drop the other thing and get back 1-1 Trampoline Haste. Get back a 1-1 Vigilance. Another 1-1 Vigilance. No, let's just cycle. I like spinning into something big with the Cyclone. We have this for 3 damage. And maybe the right play was to go Snapdax, but that's fine. So we can't gain life off of that, but so now the Fire Prophecy has something. We can mutate it, but if we wait one more turn, we're even better. So let's go ahead and do Offspring's Revenge, start exiling stuff, pressure him that way as well. And let's go ahead and get the Fox, because it threatens to at least get bigger. And if they want to capture Spirit, fine. That's their removal, and that's no longer in hand so that we can cast Snapdax. Perfect. So let's see what they drew. We can go ahead and get the Glider. Hi, Mom. Give it a flying counter. Alright, we got there. Deck's sweet. We have a lot of great build-arounds in this. Like, once it actually gets rolling, this deck is, this deck's powerful. It does take a little while to get rolling, and that's a little awkward, but geez. We have, we got all the good, Mardu stuff. Woof. Well, I guess we can keep this. We got a 2-on-2, and then hopefully we got a Cyclone on 5. If we draw a Cathartic Reunion, we get to pitch some of these lands. Don't hate this. Don't hate this at all. It is land heavy. We are only running 15 lands, though, so a third of our lands are gone, which means there's only 10 in 33. We're going to draw action most of the time. I wonder if that's also why this deck is... I feel like it's, really pretty powerful, is we're a little shyer on lands. So, we're doing pretty well there. I don't know. Maybe. We're still just going to drop a 2-on-2. Give them something to focus on, something to start pressuring them. I don't think we can just ignore our 2-drop and try to make it better. Especially if we're just like, look, we're red, white, we got this mass pump thing on board. You have to deal with it, opponent. We draw a removal spell that gets better with more lands. We started with 5, so... not bad. Oh, I guess everyone here, it would be better if I went over here for games, right? I remember that eventually. So we actually have nothing this turn. We could cycle the Cyclone, but I don't want to. This is 1 more mana to cast, and we're likely taking out something bigger than their 2-2. And we jumped over to game view eventually. And that'll be a great thing to take out. Yeah, it's a bit floody. Let's go ahead and do this. Take out their lifelinker. Their value engine here. This thing's great. You cannot make the companion thing work in limited. It's not worth doing. But getting to cast stuff from your graveyard for free is just tons of value. Duskfang, they do not get the lifelink counter, thankfully. That's nice. Wow. Well, we play the Cyclone. And now we're sort of hoping for a Cathartic Reunion, because it would just, you know, fix this hand. Oh, starting, you know, we've drawn more than half our lands at this point, and we're in the top, like, 27% of the deck? Yeah. Hey, it's a cycling card. All right. Well, let's do it. Let's do the thing. Let's see what we spin into. This is why we're running this. Sure. Yeah, we at least get the Fox. And I'm fine running out another mountain. We still have 2 to pitch to Cathartic Reunion. Alright, not the best thing to cycle into. We got better. Let's see what we can find. So, River Distress, how are you enjoying Ikoria so far? What you gonna do, opponent? What you gonna do? Oh, they're attacking. I don't think they're blocking. We got bigger, better things than they do. And once we cycle a little bit, this guy gets bigger. Hey, look, it's a Blood Curdle. I could blow out something. Hopefully they play something bigger. It's interesting. Yeah, the mutate mechanic is something else. Like, it does a lot. Am I fine doing blocks on this? Yeah, I think we do this. We know we have blowout protection. We could just kill their 3-1. To not take a bunch of damage. That feels bad, but... Alright, they're gonna Dark Bargain at instant speed. That's interesting. Now, anything we draw with cycling is gas. Creatures are gas. Let's spin the wheel. Cool. Hey, opponent, my thing's bigger. Surprise! This is why I like this set so far. You can do dumb stuff. It very much feels like a Timmy set. Like, hey, look, I can spin a wheel and get an 8/8 trampler with haste onto the battlefield for free. Seems good. Oh, they get the raid trigger too. That's nice. Well, we can Farfinder, go get more lands out of our library, because why not? We don't even have great blocks here. Anything with cycling is gas. Any non-land card in our deck is gas, and we have most of the lands out already. Come on, deck. Yeah, I could eat that. We have an okay block here. Just doing this. I think that's okay. We take a little bit of damage. We do threaten a ton. Hey, like this. Look at this. I win! Because the apexes aren't busted or anything. Nice. So that win is courtesy of the Farfinder. It let us shuffle our deck to put, snap decks on top. Sweet. Up to 5 and 1. I love this set. I love big monsters. And even here, I'm in the aggressive cycling deck, and I'm doing fun things like this. It's just great. Lord Loki. Nice. Nice, so we can go Fox into Fox. Seems good. That sets up, hey look, they got Lutri. So, Lutri is the sort of free roll. This is about one of the only companions you can actually run because you end up with, singleton decks enough in Limited. They get a blue, and we have a 1/1. We can drop the Barons and the Fox. We could just go Healer into Fox, or we can go Fox. Let's just go Fox. I'd rather have both Foxes at, then we can think about just cycling away the Healer, making 2 2/2s. Alright, they're cycling. Maybe we find another cycler. We could double cycle. We don't. So here, I don't mind just saying, let's go Glider. Let's get up in the air. Their teamer likely doing some mutating. Teamer likes to mutate. Also spells, apparently. Interesting. Not what I expected, opponent. Go Tigerilla. Ooh, Essence Scatter. That hurts. So we're not in danger yet. We need another mountain. Called it. Let's go Marmoset, and then I guess we just play out the healer. Well, if we cycle it, we do get some pumps. So let's wait on that. Let's cycle. If they don't expect the cycling, it can really blow them out. And if not, we're just going to pump some dorks. And I'm fine with that. Let's see what they do here. They could try to kill one of my things. Like, if they're killing a fox here, who cares? Wow, double kill a fox. Nice. Lutri gonna do some work. Okay. Good job, opponent. That was pretty awesome. They killed our foxes, but those were like fine. It was pretty good though. They got a solid 2 for 1 there. Oh, we can cycle again. Or we can just play this out. And the fun thing is to cycle. The responsible thing is just to play out your big dude. Which should hopefully stabilize the board for us while we figure out what's going on. Gosh. That's disgusting. 1, 2, 3, 4 cards or something? Alright, let's drop the Cyclone. And let's cycle a Stinger. Let's see what we can spin into. Oh, it's a Farfinder. That's fine. Worse things to spin into. Yeah, they can start attacking for 3. Oh, them drawing like 4 cards was busted. Oh, this lets us start getting some of this back as at least 1/1s. Think what we have to do. If they have a counterspell, we are sad. But we just do this. We get our cycling payoffs back. So yeah, we get like the Drana Stinger back. Yeah, it's only a 1/1, but it's a card. We're not blocking their thing in the air, so I guess we're just changing damage in the air. We got 2 pretty powerful enchantments that might help us get back into this game. We get the healer. Gain us life on cycles. This is looking like some sort of kill spell. Let's make them think we have something going on here. We don't. But we're gonna make them think it. Because the enchantment, it has to be red, white, or black. Let's go ahead and bring out the healer. Again, our cycling cards are gas. We gotta find some. And let's threaten to have a cycle. A cycler. Because at this point, bluffing is one of the only things we have. Pacifism, alright. We can shut down their damage in the air. We get this thing back. We can at least give it Menace, then it has to be blocked by 2 things. Come on, cycling cards. anything with cycling. We're also holding on to lands. If we get a Cathartic Reunion, we want as many lands in hand as possible. Well, we at least need 2. They give that a reach counter, which stops our attacks. But that's fine. This is still okay here. We at least go wide. So we have decent chumps. Fertilid lets them go find stuff. Fire Prophecy's pretty great. Let's go ahead and kill something. It could be the Fertilid. I think Lutri is just the thing that I'm most concerned about. Well, it did pseudo draw us a card. Don't have attacks. We could attack with this to get it back, but I like it as a 3/3 alright here. Come on, cycling cards. We only need a couple cycling cards for this to be, for this to really turn our way. Still no attacks from them. We're drawing all our lands, but again, Cathartic Reunion, we get to pitch all these. Still looking for good cycling stuff. Anything with cycling is at least a draw. Oh gosh, deck. Okay, well, Cathartic Reunion we can only pitch 2, so we might as well play them out now. If they're smart, yeah, just use the Fertilid to thin your deck. Thin lands. It's not a bad idea, opponent. They're decking before us currently, but with a Cathartic Reunion, it's really close. And with all the cycling we have, we're probably decking before them, so we need to find a way to push through lethal. The 6/4 First Strike does a nice job of at least attacking. I can hopefully push some stuff. Alright, they kill the Vantasar, which should enable attacks for him. No attacks, really, opponent. We get the Vantasar back. It is only a 1/1, but it is back. Hey, look! They have that dude. Why they would do it then is beyond me when they could just hard cast that thing and win. They're thinning their deck more and more. I don't know what the logic behind that was. They should have just hard cast it. That's hard for me to remove. I do have good removal in here still. Serpent's a problem. I guess we could chump with a human. We could also throw all of these in front of it. I don't hate that. It's dead, and we get that back. Well, there's a pump. Alright, Great Shark is terrible for us. But we get that back. Let's go ahead and get this back as a 1/1. Because it comes with a token. Oh, come on, deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 of 15. Alright, it's only a 1/1. They really want to have that fight something? Yeah, I thought not. I guess they're convinced they're winning in the air with that. Oh, that doesn't seem like what I would want to be doing, opponent. You have a great ground force. We don't have great blocks. Wow. We need to spin our wheel into something fantastic to even have a chance against either one of these. They just have good attacks. I'm really not sure why they're just not smashing face right now. I don't want to block the reach, dude. We don't have great blocks against either one of those. If I just say no blocks, are we screwed? Do we have fine trades? I don't think we do. I guess we could do like Marmoset plus 2 tokens. On that thing. I don't think we realistically have blocks. If we don't cycle this, we at least have an 8/8. Okay. I mean, do they just have a counterspell to beat this? We could try just smashing face here. I don't think it works. Let's hold off another turn. Again, Cathartic Reunion, we can spin into a whole bunch of stuff, and maybe that's enough. Get, 2 or 3 things with cycling. That's like the only chance we got. They're just going to mutate their Giant Boy on that, tap down our flyer, and we're dead, aren't we? Well, let's make them see it. Yeah, they see it. I mean, they had that, turns ago. We're going to eat that. I mean, we flooded out a little bit there at the end. A little bit different. And I like our chances. Yeah, just flooded out a little at the end. That's alright. Still think the deck is sweet. The opponent they drew so many cards. It's crazy. We're still making profit, so I like it. Let's go ahead and just see if we can get another win or 2 out of this thing. We're already making profit. I don't really care. But it would be nice to win a few more. Alright. We got Fox on 1, and then we can just cycle on 2 if that's what we need. We could use the Reunion to pitch some stuff. We got options. But yeah, Fox on 1. They are playing the depths. That is interesting. So they only have even converted mana cost in their deck. This is a great card. Getting to have it there is very nice. But, only running even converted mana cost is a cost. And it likely means their deck is slower, so we gotta try to be aggro here. We gotta try to beat their face in before this thing resolves. They have a 2-drop, that's great for them. They do have a 2-drop. There's nothing we can really do about it. We can just Cathartic Reunion to fix this hand. Likely what we have to do here. Oh, if we hadn't, we would be really screwed on lands. As is, we're only mostly screwed on lands. Wow, pitching, 2 cards and not finding a single land? Jeez, that's rough. Glimmerbell. Okay. We could just take out the Glimmer Bell, and then we get to put something on the bottom, like this, like a Vantasar. Or just the Day Squad Marshal. Go looking for a land. Still no lands? Oh, all this filtering and we still not finding lands. Wow. That's rough. We're trying. We're really trying. We have gone through, you know, 3 cards there. We've dug at least 3 cards deeper in our deck. 4 Cathartic Reunion. 4 cards deeper. Still haven't found it. I think we cycle this. Does pump this dork. Oh, thank goodness, we found a land. Now at least we get a 2-drop. Alright. Working on the stabilizing. We had to dig so many cards down to find that 3rd land. That's insane. That's, yep, death touchy. They should just attack with both here. Yep. We got nothing. No blocks, opponent. We can cycle another one to at least make him kill this bug. This is a 3-2. So we could play this and cycle this. Just to have a force out there. I think that's what we do. And let's do it main phase, going looking for another land. We already missed so many land drops. We can't really afford to miss more. Hey, we get to ping him to the face. That's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Draws a card. Alright, it's a land. Creeping back into this thing. They're going to be able to maybe cast this next turn. They only have like a Glimmer Bell. Oh, I guess we gave them Vantasars to get back. Oh, and a Smasher. Oh no. Oh no. That's bad. That's really bad. So here... So if they cast this thing... I think we need a Blood Curdle in response. So, as much as I'd like to drop the Cyclone here and give them something to worry about, we don't have Cyclers. We need to Blood Curdle in response to this. It hurts. They likely are getting our... If they get one of the dinos back, we don't really care. They're likely getting the Smasher back. Oh, why'd we give them a Smasher? And that dies to the Snapdax mutate trigger. So what I want to do is I want to be able to kill this thing with Blood Curdle. Okay, speaking of Blood Curdle, that's awkward. They now have a Menace Death Toucher. They gotta just go land that. There's really no 2 ways about it. Yep. What do they get? What do they get? What do they get? What they get out of their yard? They could get their Lava Serpent. Let's see what they get. They get their own Lava Serpent, just for damage, I suppose. The Snapdax doesn't have a great block against either one. I guess that's 5 immediate damage, but I think we just do this. Alright, Snapdax. Gain us some life. And then get traded off for a dumb 5/5. We salute you. I can return that. Whatever. Ooh, that's rough. I think this one's it, chat. Double blood curdle. We couldn't really afford to be blood curdled. They built around it. I don't know if it's a great build around. Their mana seems to be really stretched, but they're making it work. So we need a kill spell. We have them. That buys us chumpers. And like, what sort of chumper do we want? We could just get back... Oh gosh, it at least buys us chumpers. So it buys us a turn, because this does not have trample. Oh, it has menace though. Never mind. Yeah, there was nothing. I guess we could have cycled the Cyclone looking for something. But let's go ahead and get this back as a 1/1. Let's see if they realize they have menace. They should. Oh, double blood curdle's brutal. We would have needed some way to gain life. We didn't really have that because we don't get the mutate trigger. Nothing here gains life. Yeah, they have lethal on the swing. Do it. Alright, well we went 5-3. That's respectable. Wish we didn't lose against an opponent who one black source out and half their spells were black, so that feels a little bit bad. They definitely were running some pretty stretched mana there, but it worked out for them. So let's go ahead. We get five wins is 1,604 packs. So let me jot that down here. Premier, we didn't spend any gold. We spent 1,500. And we ended up in red, white, splashing black, cycling Snapdax. And we went 5-3 for 1,600 gems. We didn't make any on the rare grind. We did, however, make... How many packs was this? Was it 4 packs? 4 packs. And then I will fill in the 17 lands link later. Let's go ahead and crack these bad boys. And we still made profit. Plus what we got from the draft boosters feels pretty good. Collection on day 1, not looking too bad. Ooh, another Apex. Nice. Ooh, it's Mothra. We got that mythic. Lots of mythics here. That's neat. That's nifty. And I had a nightmare. And we have enough rare wild cards and mythic rare wild cards here that I'm fine drafting with the Going Optimal crew tomorrow. So I'm just going to go ahead and take one quick look. We'll look at collection. Look at all these new cards. All of them are new. We got 4x of some of these already. So I want to go Ikoria, Rare, Mythics, Collected, and Not. And then these are all new ones. I want to just click through and then put them back in order. Okay, so in order. This is how the collection looks after day one. So we took this one in a pack somewhere where it basically wheeled from our starting pack. So it was sort of a free rare in a slot that we didn't really care about. Some of these were from packs. We got to play with Batra, Dark Destroyer. It was pretty sweet. We cast this Mythos once or twice. We got a Gem Razor passed to us, like third pick once. That was kind of nutty. It was in the same deck as the King Kong. We got to cast both of these in the same deck. Sweet cycling cards. Our General. We had an opportunity to take this one draft. We passed it because there was, I think, premium removal. Got to cast this. You can just name creatures. It makes all the creatures cheaper. Who knew? Join our forces. We got to cast that alongside Snapdack. So this was another sweet combo we got to do. We got the Offspring's Revenge. Look at this. After day one, we're actually showing, 3 of some of these tap lands right here. A couple of the ultimatums. Some of these Apex creatures, planeswalkers. We have our playset of this Triome already. Look at that. Day one, we've completed a playset just by drafting. That's nuts. 3 of those. So what? 3 of those. 3 of those. 4 of those. None of those. And I think there's, what, 1 more? Was it on that last page? And none of those. So, really weird waiting on that, but I guess that's how it goes sometimes. 2 Oozliths. Yeah, we're doing great for collection on day one. This kind of draft, we were able to farm people pretty well. So yeah, we'll come back tomorrow and do some more. In the meantime, everyone, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. And I'll catch you next time.